This is going to be the story of a dwarf, a moose, an astronomer, in a noble family, and a nose, a fake nose, made of brass, copper, gold, and silver. Just a lot. It's already a lot. One of the most absurd and just unreal as life is that of the mathematician, astronomer Tycho Brahe. Many of you might not know, or many of you may know who Tycho Brahe was, but he was a teacher, to put it simply, to Kepler, and one of the best in terms of the results, in terms of the understanding and interpretation of stars, in terms also of detecting the stars with the naked eye. One of the best, the finest of the finest, whose life was absolutely a mess. So let's delve immediately into how Tycho Brahe's life looked like. He was born from a noble family, a noble lineage, because the grandfathers and the great-grandfathers had served for the Privy Council in Denmark. So he was born in Denmark from a noble family, and he was the last of 12 children. So, we don't know exactly what was the reason, most likely just the fact that the number of children was impressive, to say the least, and he was kind of like taken to the uncle's house, and he grew up in that house. This is what we can call an adoption, and sometimes looked more of an abduction than an adoption, but okay. There, at the uncle's house, he started studying, and first he studied the law and medicine, and then it was just later that he got into the stars, where the stars are positioned, the different mathematical theories that concern the universe. And that is, how he maintained himself, because at the time, the king of Denmark was paying all of his bills by giving him basically not only a place, and this place was very beautiful, situated on an island, that of Heaven, but also gave him a certain amount of money, like an allowance, for him to maintain himself. And then he decided sort of like to screw everything up one more time, because he got married to somebody who was not noble. So that was kind of fascinating, because that led him to lose this status of noble. However, there were certain factors, for instance, just the people in his families, that protected him from being completely isolated. But certain others also just pushed towards that sort of isolation and ostracism from the surrounding community and society. For instance, he got into a fight, and the fight was with another mathematician, and it ended up with his complete nose to be removed and substituted by a fake nose, which was made by copper and silver and a bit of gold. So it looked kind of weird already, And then that wasn't enough. So he lived in this beautiful palace where he could carry out his daily operations. But first had the beautiful palace internally be decorated by the most superb sort of paintings of the time. So extremely like luxurious and just beautiful in terms of like how was the inner decor. So that was one. However, the palace was inhabited by a pet. Now, the pet that he chose was a moose. Moose, at a certain point, got drunk, or too much drunk, since the moose was used to drinking alcohol, and fell from the stairs, and that's how the moose died. Not only that, there was also what sources call a psychic dwarf jetter. His name was Jup, and was sort of a slave. His job was to entertain Tycho Brahe. It was just amazing, the kind of life he built for himself. Now, at a certain point, the king of Denmark, Frederick II, dies. And at this point, the son asks him out, says, we don't want you anymore. So what the incredible journey of Tycho Brahe is will lead him to the court of Prague, where you had at that point Wilf II, and there he will teach to Kepler. Interestingly, the new king of Denmark, Christian IV, is rumored to have denied all the privileges because of other rumors that wanted Tycho Brahe to have slept with the Queen Mother Sophie. We will not ever, unfortunately, know the truth on this, but Tycho Brahe had an amazing life, has an amazing story and biography, and so that is extremely fascinating. How Tycho Brahe died is also extremely fascinating. So for many years it has been believed that Mercury caused him to die. In actuality, we do know that the history is slightly different. At the time when you were drinking and eating at the court with the king, there was only one thing you could not do, which is to stand up and excuse yourself. The king had to finish first. It is believed that Tycho Brahe drank. It is believed that Tycho Brahe drank so much that he could not stand up for many hours, and that caused that withholding of the pee basically caused an infection, and that infection was mistreated by the doctors, and that eventually led him to having this fever that caused him to die in matters of a few days, unfortunately, because we have lost not only a mathematician and astronomer, but also like somebody who revolutionized probably everything, you know, even the customs and the traditions of the society. Now guys, let us know, comment below, and we'll talk in a new episode next time. And if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk some more next time. Bye!